Let's see what's cooking. It's time for Yo-Yo Makes 12.
Today's recipe is courtesy of Betty Crocker in her Christmas cookies cookbook. And it's going to be these lovely, yummy things. They're calling them Bourbon chestnut bonbons, but I don't like that name. I'm going to call them Nutella chocolate truffles, because I think that's going to be a better description, and you'll see why. You see if you agree with me or not. Okay, so in a medium-sized mixing bowl, you're going to place 2 cups or 12 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate. I'm using chocolate chips, but you can use any kind of chocolate you want. As long as you have 12 ounces, put that in a mixing bowl. Then in a small saucepan over medium heat, you are going to place 1/2 cup of whipping cream, and that's 35% whipping cream. And you're just going to gently bring this to a simmer. There it is, beginning to simmer, so we're going to take it off the heat. Take the whipping cream off the heat, and we're going to pour it over our chocolate chips, and then let it sit for a couple of minutes. Now the whipping cream has been sitting with the chocolate chips for a couple of minutes, and we're just going to give them a stir, and you'll see that the chocolate chips have melted. So we're going to stir that together until it's nice and smooth. I may not have let the cream get hot enough because there's still some chocolate chips that aren't melted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this into the microwave for about 35-40 seconds just to heat it up a little bit to melt the rest of those chips. Okay, that was 40 seconds more. And really that made all the difference. Everything is nicely melted now. As a matter of fact, I don't see why you couldn't heat the whole thing in the microwave instead of dirtying a pot on the stove. If you try it another way, let me know. Now we are going to add the Nutella hazelnut spread. And this is a big jar. You need 2 cups of this. And this is almost 1 big jar of Nutella. ¼ cup of bourbon. And yes, you can leave the bourbon out if you don't want to use it. And we're going to stir this together. Now we're going to cover this and refrigerate it until firm, about 4 hours. Okay, the mixture has cooled and is firm to the touch. And the next step is to form the little ball shapes. So you take about a teaspoonful. And form it into a little ball. Like so. And you're going to put it on the cookie sheet. And continue until all your mixture is used up. Okay, here they all are. All the little balls are made. I ended up with 60 of them with that recipe. These are going to go into the freezer for about an hour. And they say to freeze them, so we'll see how long that takes. Okay, now for the coating for the little truffles, we're going to melt about 2 cups of chocolate chips in the microwave until they are nice and smooth. Okay, these chocolate balls have been in the freezer for about an hour, and they are quite firm. They're very hard, so I think that they're going to be fine. So the recipe says to do the following. To take the chocolate ball, and it says to use your fingers, so we're going to try it with my hands first and we'll go from there. They said to use your hands, put the chocolate ball, oh boy, this is messy. Put the chocolate ball into the melted chocolate, and then put it into the cocoa. Shake it around, and then put it on your cookie sheet. There's one done. Well, the trick to this is to use one hand for the chocolate and the other to pick them out of the cocoa. Now you don't have to roll them in cocoa. You can just take them out of the chocolate, shake off the excess, put them on the baking sheet. I need another hand. And then you could take some Christmas decorations like sprinkles and just decorate them that way. They look kind of lumpy, these ones. Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to do a few of these, and then I'll give you my opinion on the best way to do it. I think what I'm going to do instead of rolling them in the cocoa is just dusting them with the cocoa. Just dusting them. Like so. I think that's going to be nicer. See, these ones, see how kind of lumpy they are? Because the chocolate is melted. This one's not as bad, but there's lots of cocoa on these pieces. I think that would be too much cocoa. I like the little light dusting. I think that's better. Actually, I like the sprinkles better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the rest of these. And I'm going to do a few dusted with cocoa. I'll show you what they look like. But the rest of them, I'm going to put some Christmas sprinkles on them. And then you can let them harden at room temperature or throw them in the refrigerator and they'll firm up a little bit faster that way. This is definitely faster using your fingers than it is to use a slotted spoon or something like that. It's definitely faster. Messier, but faster. And I actually was watching it was actually Dirty Jobs. I mean, if you've seen that show. He actually went to a chocolatier, a place that made chocolates. And they dipped everything by hand, like with their hands. And that's what they did. They were making peanut butter balls and they were using their hands to do all this work, part of it. Definitely faster to do them by hand than to use a spoon. These are creamy, they're chocolatey, and they're absolutely delicious. They really, really are exceptional. I like the cocoa dusted ones, and I also like the ones with the sprinkles, so it really depends on what you want. The sprinkling ones are certainly more attractive looking if you're going to give them as a gift. I put them in little paper cups that I purchased at the dollar store, actually. And you can put them in a box, and there you have a really nice homemade little Christmas present for somebody. You can see the velvety, smooth texture inside. These are really good. Okay, just a little quick note about filmmaking at the end of this video. You'll notice in this particular one, I talk as I go instead of doing a voiceover. Now, most of my videos are voiceovered after I edit the video because they have a tendency to be shorter that way. So which one do you prefer? Do you prefer that I talk as I go for a longer video? Or do you prefer the kind where I film, edit, and then voiceover to make a shorter one? Let me know what you think. Thank you. Bye-bye.